Da, da, da.
It's episode 239.
Episode 239. It's a response video for Bowman 53.
Hello, YouTube. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm MP Fox, and that's MC Fox, and this is a response video for Bowman 53. Today, my co-host partner is still rolling around in the glory of that Ichiro 1-of-1 card that we got yesterday. So he really can't talk right now because he can't get it out of his hands. Actually, we've looked at it quite a bit in the last 2 days. So with no further ado, let's get down to this. Bowman 53 wanted us to make a video showing cards that reminded us of fellow YouTubers. And I will start by saying this. I looked on my YouTube on the side there. I subscribe to 531 different channels. I'm not going to be able to mention 531 people. A lot of cards do remind me of a lot of people. I don't watch every single video. I watch as much as I can, but I'm extremely busy with my job and my family and everything that goes on in our lives. And I watch as much as I can. I comment as much as I can. But I tell you what, you all are very important to me. So I probably will let somebody out. Well, I know I will. 531, are you kidding me? But let's just start this out. I've got cards laid out in front of me here on the table. I am probably going to forget half of what I wanted to say and maybe even make up stuff and sound stupid. But the first card I want to show is a Rookie Year Materials card of a player that reminds me of my co-host, MC Fox. This is numbered 21 out of 25. Anytime I see a Rod Carew card, I think of MC. Him and I have got a binder full of Carew cards, and we're always picking stuff up. We're not quite at super collector level yet because we're very spread out in our collection. But any Rod Carew makes me think of him. And on the family vein, if you've watched our videos in the past, we have members of the family in it at certain times. This card reminds me of my wife, and actually any Akinori Iwamura card. This was her favorite ball player back in the day when he played for the Rays, and she absolutely adored him. So any Akinori Iwamura, that makes me think of my wife. And of course, we can't let out my daughter. She is the MCOG, and anytime I see a Trey Turner card, they go on her dresser, which won't be here very soon because she moved out, but she will still get every Trey Turner card. She thinks he's cute. So with that, that's the Fox family. Those are the cards that remind me of people that live in this house that have appeared in our videos. Now the first card that I want to show, and this kind of ties into Bowman 53, this card reminds me of two different gentlemen. Yep, it's the 1953 Bowman Mini Minoso. This might be my all-time favorite card, or one of them. And I first got turned on to this set by Bowman 53 and his showcase of the entire set of this. Now, this also reminds me of Jonathan Cuban Collector because he showed this in a couple videos, and I had to get it. After watching all of Bowman 53's videos and seeing Jonathan pop this thing up, I had to get it. This is a proud card sitting on the shelf. The next one I want to show isn't exactly a card, but if I see a George Brett card or some super crazy vintage card or anything with Christy Mathewson, I think of Dave Blue Jacket 66. I watch everything that he does, and every video I learn so much from him. But the one thing that reminds me of him are these 1967 mini posters. I have got this. I actually got this in a contest, second place that he had. And this actually sits underneath our dining room table on a shelf. And I pull this out and look at it on occasion. It is absolutely fantastic. I'd love to go over all these. We'll do a video on all these at some point. But this is absolutely wonderful. And this makes me think of Dave, Blue Jacket 66, who is a wonderful supporter of our channel. And I cannot wait till the day that I meet this guy. The next card reminds me of a YouTuber that I have met and I have talked to, and we message back and forth on occasion. But it is a trophy card by Topps, and it is Thurman Munson. And I remember when he picked this up, I love this set. I love this card. And I tell you, Hitman 23 Mike is a great guy. So anytime I see trophies, and especially when I see it on this card, I think of Hitman. Next. Now, this is going to be a stretch, or you might not get it, but it is a 1976 Topps Vic Albury. This is the second time this card has shown up in one of my videos, and actually it's going to be in another one. Why does it show up? Well, this reminds me of Mike, baseball collector. Not because he's a Twins fan and not because he's a big Vic Albury guy, but I really didn't know anything about slabbing cards in PSA, or not too much, because when I collected back in the 70s and early 80s, this really wasn't a big deal where I was around. And I kept hearing this, and I kept watching these videos by this guy in Texas before we started making videos. And now this was the first slab I ever got. So, Mike, you remind me of... No, Vic Albury reminds me of Mike. With that and a whole bunch of other cards and great Hall of Fame autographs. But that one popped into mind right away. As well as Eric, those back pages. Yep. It's the GOAT. Harold Baines. This was quite a conversation several years ago, and every time I see a Harold Baines, I actually sent a bunch of Baines cards up to him at one point. But Harold Baines, always immediately, I think of Eric, those back pages. Now the next one, and I don't know what I did with the card. Here it is. I was looking for my Betances Dances Pantsless card, but I couldn't find it, and I had it with a sticker in a special place, and I can't remember in one of the many, many boxes we have. Yep, I'm talking about It Cometh an Egg. But I also, whenever I see Judge cards, I think of him. I can't stand the Yankees, but here is the Gypsy Queen, the Players' Day variant jersey short print. But Aaron Judge always makes me think of, and Charlie Blackmon too. I think that's his sister-in-law or sister's favorite player. But Aaron Judge makes me think of the Eggman, Goo-Goo-Ka-Choo. And staying in Colorado, anytime I see a Colorado Rockies card, I think of Ken's Cardboard. And I pulled out this Larry Walker here with some nice Superchine. I wanted to pop an Arenado out for you, but I think I've sent all my Arenados to him. Because a wise man once told me you can never have too many Arenados. And that wise man was Ken. But any Rockies makes me think of him. Next on the list, yep, it's Nate. And who would I show? But of course, Barry Bonds. He is the ultimate Barry Bonds collector and shows some great Barry Bonds cards. So, here we go to Nate out on the West Coast. Little Barry Bonds. Keeping it on the West Coast. Yep, it's Oakland A's 915. Now, who would I think of? Well, synonymous with that is Mr. Mark McGwire. My brother Eric. Someday riding skateboards with MC, which would be a lot of fun. And maybe I'll get on one and break my neck. But here is Mark McGwire. And keeping the Oakland theme is Tony, Psyched on Baseball Cards. Any Oakland A's, I immediately think of him and Eric. But here's the Catfish Hunter, one of the short prints. Very cool. Now, this one isn't a baseball card, but it reminds me of a person in our community. And I've joked around with him about this a lot. Hey, anytime I see Skyline Chili, I think of Jason, Zombie Collector. Yep, and not really baseball, but I think of Jason because he shows nice pictures of that. And one of Jason's big buddies, yep, Mr. Bob Lewis. I got a couple cards here for Mr. Bob Lewis. And one is, of course, Austin Meadows. Thank you, Pittsburgh. This is a Chromie rookie Austin Meadows in the Rays jersey. Anytime I see a Meadows, I think of him. Actually, when I see stuff laying around at games with Austin Meadows, I like to send it up to him. But not only do I think of the worst trade the Pirates made in recent history with Austin Meadows coming here, I also think of Goofy cards. And here's a Mike Laga. Yep, all painted up with his painted pink Cardinals jersey. I don't ever remember him having a pink jersey or the painted hat. But Goofy cards make me giggle, make me think of Mr. Bob Lewis. Now, recently the Rays were in the World Series, and we lost to the Dodgers. And these two gentlemen are big Dodgers fans, and I think of them often. They're big supporters of our channel. I like to watch all their videos. The first one, I've got a modern. It's a Topps Chrome, Cody Bellinger. And this reminds me of Shiny cards. Shiny!
He's so tiny.
And also Dodger Blue, but it reminds me of none other than Pepino Man. Now the next one is a Brooklyn Dodger. This guy's got great vintage sets and he makes really cool videos and I love watching all of them. But whenever I see vintage Dodgers, I think of Geez Mikey. And here's a Don Zimmer and his Brooklyn Dodgers. Yep. So this is for Geez Mikey. The next person is my Minnesota brother, Dustin and Blake. Well, that's two people, but Dustin, I think we're somehow related with our musical tastes and baseball tastes. But whenever I see Harmon Killebrew or any good old Twinkies, this is obviously in his Washington, I think of Dustin and Blake. And last but not least, and definitely not, because I got 531 more of these to go, not really, but anytime I see a Phillies, I think of Mike O and Ed Weskergriff. And here's a Steve Carlton patch that I have. So again, whenever I think of Phillies, I think of those gentlemen over there. Weskergriff is a great supporter of our channel, and I love watching both their gentlemen's channels. So there we go, Bowman 53. I hope this fit the bill and met the criteria. It's a lot of fun checking out cards, but I always look at cards and think of many, many, many people. So I know I've left some of the 531 out. You all make great videos, but this is just the icing on the cake, so to say, and I like cake. So until next time, I am MP Fox.
And I'm MC Fox.
Peace!
See ya!